Hello everybody, Captain Marty here, Friday, June the 19th. A lot of people will ask me, well, what boat do you captain? And I haven't captained a boat in a long time, but I was a captain in the Oregon Inlet Fleet for a long time and a mate as well. And then many years ago, we started the FM radio Other Side of Fishing, which was just a way to think about the history of our area on the Outer Banks and all those things. And it ended up becoming a thing that we're still doing, going on almost 30 years now. And I do have some stuff to talk about in the fishing report. Is not great, and it probably ain't going to be great today either. But don't go away. I'll be right back and fill you in on all the details.
Surrounded by water, Currituck and the people of the Outer Banks have been shaped and defined by its rich and coastal maritime history. The Currituck Maritime Museum tells the story of Currituck's boat-building forefathers, their remarkable craft, and the legacy they left behind on how to live life and thrive on the waters of the Outer Banks. Discover the Maritime Museum in historic Corolla Park, across the street from the Currituck Beach Lighthouse, and visit us online at currituckmaritimemuseum.com. Be a part of the local history at the Currituck Maritime Museum.
When it comes to general maintenance or major modifications on your diesel vehicle, look no further than Juan Cheese Off-Road Diesel Performance in Kill Devil Hills. Master mechanic Ryan Walker developed the plan for having his own auto shop over 20 years ago, and today he owns the premium diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. To have him and his crew take a look under your hood, give him a call today at 252-715-0025 or find him on social media. Juan Cheese Off-Road Diesel Performance, the diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks.
So the Hatteras fleet got blown out when that southwest wind was tough, and the Oregon Inlet fleet was small. They were able to get out, cheek it down the beach, and they found some mahi on the southern end, and then a few boats further up the line, more like east of what you would think of as east of Oregon Inlet, they caught a few yellowfins. I didn't see anything about any big eyes, and they've been catching some big eye tunas. And of course, everybody is concerned a little bit with this weather coming through today. I did talk with Captain Barry Daniels on the end game out of the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. And, I tell you, when you fish rough, hot southwesters, that's the part that I didn't care for as a captain. I could take a rougher northeaster because the air was cool and usually kind of dry. But an old, hot, sticky southwester, it can be tough. Now, usually when you go out and hit the Gulf Stream, it's a little bit on you get what's called a mill pond change. Cross into the Gulf Stream current, it's going the same direction as the wind, it'll lay out flat. But Barry also told me they've seen very few mill pond changes. So anyway, that comes with the territory when you're going to the Gulf Stream, which is about 30 miles off Hatteras average, and about 35 miles or more average off Oregon Inlet. So that's really about all I had. Inshore fleets, they caught some red drum and bluefish down in Hatteras, and that was about it. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention in the Oregon Inlet catch, Jeff Ross on the Obsession, been doing it a long time. He had a blue and a sailfish release, so we need to give some credit there. But around the inlet is pretty scrappy, and we'll talk more about this in the backcountry report, but it's just really kind of picky. So we need to tell, I've never been one to give a Chamber of Commerce report, and fishing around here can change in hours, but been a little bit tough around the inlet. Now, what about the surf and pier fishing? Also scrappy. There was a little bit of a Spanish mackerel and sea mullet bite on ramp 60 yesterday down on Hatteras Island. Jeanette's Pier, that would be a surf report. Jeanette's Pier reporting 73 degrees with just scattered stuff, croakers, bluefish, flounder, and I was a little bit surprised to see ladyfish in their fishing report. That's a really fun fish to catch. Can't eat them, but they jump like crazy, and they probably catching those on the metal lures while they're trying to catch a Spanish mackerel or a bluefish. Well, anyway, it's really picky. Just on Hatteras Island, water temperatures 76 degrees average, and I'll pick on some sea mullet. There's occasionally a drum being caught. And what else? That's really about it. I didn't even hear much in the way of bluefish and Spanish. So we'll take a little break at this point. I'll come back and talk to you about what's going on behind Hatteras Island, below Roanoke Island, back in the backcountry.
Looking for the perfect Hatteras Island getaway? Stay at the Hatteras Island Inn in Buxton, where you're just minutes from the iconic Cape Hatteras Lighthouse and only a short walk from the beach. Relax by the seasonal outdoor pool, take in stunning lighthouse and island views from the observation tower, and enjoy comfortable accommodations year-round. Whether you're planning a summer beach vacation, a fishing trip, or a quiet off-season escape, Hatteras Island Inn puts you close to everything that makes the Outer Banks unforgettable. Book your stay at visitobx.com and experience the beauty of Hatteras Island today.
So one of our regular listeners, a friend of mine who happens to be a stakeholder in the industry, in other words, he's a guide, did tell me don't be fooled by some of the reports you're hearing that the fishing back in the Sound is as slow as it gets. Now, again, I'm trying to tell it like it is, and that can change by the day. But I've heard from several people the drum bite is not doing what they were hoping for the big drum, although there have been a few caught. There's been a few more puppy drum caught back at Hatteras Island, a little bit. There's been a few bluefish. The sheephead bite in the Sound seems like it's tapered way off, and the speckled trout bite is really, really quiet right now. So I don't want to just sit here and waste airtime, but pretty scrappy in the backcountry. But there again, don't let that, if you go fishing, I always say when the fishing's really good, never go fishing for yesterday's fish. Now, Omi Tillett used to always say that. And when the fishing is really, really bad, the flip side of that is don't just assume it's going to be bad for your trip. If you got a trip, whether it's in the backcountry, around the inlet, on a nearshore boat, or offshore, go put in your time, because you never know, it changes really quickly. So that's all I have for you as we roll into the weekend, hoping and praying that this system today will present us with some rain. I was gardening last night, and it was just dust, just nothing but dust. Really, really disappointing. So we'll have to wait and pray about that. And on that topic, I do hope the good Lord blesses you richly today.